Chainsaw Man episode 12, Katana versus Chainsaw. So this is it. This is the end of the season. I don't think there's been a season 2 announced. I'm sure we'll get one though. Or we could end up getting a movie for the next arc. I'm kind of hoping that we get an anime. I feel like if you just condense the next arc into just a movie, you're going to leave out a lot of like just interesting moments and stuff. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. So we get the end of the arc, the end of the season. We start off where we left the last episode with the Ghost Devil choking the crap out of Aki. And as the Ghost Devil's doing that, Aki has a flashback to a moment where he's having dinner with Himeno. And Himeno is trying to get Aki to smoke. Aki refuses because it makes her bones weak. But eventually he accepts. And before he starts smoking it, he tells Himeno that it's not very good for her to get a minor to smoke. And then she's kind of surprised that he's a minor. And she asks for the cigarette back. And she says, I'm going to keep it until you're all grown up and ready for it. And that's when the Ghost Devil drops Aki and then extends out its hand and opens its hand. And inside is a cigarette that says Easy Revenge. And Aki takes it, puts it in his pocket, takes out his sword, and just calmly walks towards the Ghost Devil. And the Ghost Devil doesn't do anything, doesn't attack him, doesn't make any movements. It just stands there and allows Aki to walk under it. And Aki basically is monologuing that Himeno once told him that the Ghost Devil can't see. Instead, it senses fear. It sees fear. So Aki, no longer having fear, is able to calmly walk under the Ghost Devil, get behind it, and then walk on top of the Ghost Devil, up its back, and then decapitates the Ghost Devil's head. And then he turns to Akane, and Akane is about to summon her Snake Devil when all of a sudden Kobeni shows up with a knife to Akane's throat. And yeah, Aki asks Kobeni, like, why did you stay in the public safety division? And she explains that they're going to be getting their bonus payment soon. And there we go. That's how we get that little moment. And then we get the moment that I've been waiting for. It's the elevator scene with Denji and Power. So we see Denji and Power just riding an elevator, just kind of bored, riding it in silence. And Power has like a zombie arm gripping one of her forearms, and she's just kind of playing with the fingers. And then eventually she starts taking bites out of the arm. And Denji is basically saying that that's gross. And Power gets pissed off and says meat is meat. Doesn't matter if it's pork, beef, or human, it's all the same. And the two of them start like arguing with each other like they always do. And Denji's trying to tell Power, like, our job is to capture Katana Man. You better not eat him when we do. And then the elevator stops, the doors open, and they see a bunch of zombies. And Denji realizes that the zombies haven't noticed them yet. So he's like, whatever you do, don't make any loud noises. And of course, as soon as he says that, Power jumps into a pose, yells out, my name is Power, and says, we can't beat these guys. This is a battle. Denji, follow me. And she's like, watch my back. And she jumps into the fray, starts slashing at all the zombies, cackling madly as she's chopping the crap out of them, yelling that she's not going to run away because she's dignified and beautiful. And she sees this like really tall zombie. She's like, a strong enemy approaches. Watch this, Denji, and tell the tale. Power is the strongest of all. As she jumps at it and starts stabbing the crap out of it. But as all this is going on, the elevator doors have already closed and Denji's riding up the elevator. So Power is doing this for an audience of no one. She believes that Denji was watching her this entire time, but he's not. Instead, he rides the elevator up to the 13th floor and he steps out, and Katana Man and two of his men are there. And Katana Man's basically like, hey, Ike, why don't we just talk first? And depending on your attitude, we might be willing to surrender. And he basically says that Denji killed his grandfather as well as the friends of the two guys with them, and that they want Denji to pay for that. And Denji is like, I killed them because they were zombies. And of course, Katana Man doesn't believe that. But then he says, even if that were true, They were once humans. Don't you feel guilty for killing them? And Denji's like, no, not really, not one bit. So Katana Man, of course, gets upset, and he's like, well, even though Akane made some changes to me and replaced my heart with the Katana Devil, I still can't sleep whenever I accidentally kill a zombie. And then he basically says, Denji, I think you lost more than your human hearts. If you have any semblance of a human conscience left, let us kill you. And Denji's just like, nope. And I absolutely love this. I love the fact that it basically took the talk no jutsu and just flipped it, where instead of the good guy trying to convince the bad guy, it's the bad guy trying to convince the good guy. And usually in moments like this, the good guy will start second guessing themselves. They'll start thinking, is he right? Am I really not human? Yada, yada, yada. But Denji's like, nah, I don't care that I killed your grandpa and his friends. They were zombies. Also, they did kill you, Denji. Like, they stabbed him while he was a human. That's why he's a Chainsaw Man to begin with. But also just the fact that, yeah, he's like, if you have any like semblance of a human heart left, let us kill you. And Denji's like, nah, I'm not down for that. And we get a fight scene. And it's a badass fight scene. It's crazy how much better Mappa has gone with the 3D technology since the first episode. Not to say that the first episode wasn't terrible, because it was actually good. But compared to the first episode, the fight scenes here are just so much better. And yeah, we get them sailing through the air, fighting across a bunch of skyscrapers. Eventually, Denji gets knocked onto a subway train. And this whole fight scene reminds me very much of Spider-Man 2, the fight between Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus. But yeah, they start monologuing some more. The villain basically says, why are you fighting? And Denji says, to protect the life I have, I guess. They start fighting. It's just, it's so cool. Like, just the way the camera is like moving around and doing zoom ins and stuff as they're fighting. It reminds me very much of, oh my god, I had the name of it and I just, Arc System Works. The name of the video game company that does Dragon Ball Fighter Z, as well as Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear. I believe it's Arc System Works. The fight scenes look very much like that. It very much looks like the like when you're doing your ultimates and stuff like that, like the way the camera zooms in and stuff like that, and just kind of maneuvers around. That's what the fight scene on top of the train looks like. But eventually, they fall through the train inside, and then of course the people inside start freaking out. They start running to the next level. The train comes to a stop so the people can escape, and it's just Katana Man and Chainsaw Man. And Katana Man slices off one of Denji's arms. He goes and he charges at Denji, slices off his next arm. So now all Denji has is the chainsaw on his head. He's armless. And Katana Man is like, it's over. You can no longer fight. Before you die, apologize for killing my grandpa. And Denji stands up and he's like, what the hell are you talking about? I still got one chainsaw on my head. I can still fight. So Denji charges. Katana Man rushes at him, and then they do like the whole samurai thing where they both like clash in the middle, and then they both rush past each other, and then they stop. And Katana Man's like, hasn't my grandpa ever told you, when to know when to quit? And the chainsaw on Denji's head breaks. He basically says, apologize for calling my grandpa, and I'll end this quickly. And Denji's like, you aimed for the chainsaw on my head. Thanks, you moron. All of a sudden, we just see like a line come through Katana Man, and he just falls apart. He's been split in half. That's when Denji says, didn't your grandpa teach you that a beast should never trust a hunter? And that's when Denji reveals that he can grow a chainsaw out of his legs. So yeah, he uses leg chainsaw to slice Katana Man in half. The interesting thing is that if you actually go back and watch the previous episode, you can see a foreshadow of this. When you see Kishibe, Power, and Denji training, when they're like passed out laying on the ground, and Kishibe is telling them that they're done training for the day, you can see that Denji's pants from the knees down are ripped, revealing his legs. So it's kind of a hint that Denji was using the leg chainsaws then. I also like the fact that he quotes Kishibe, kind of I guess subconsciously refers to him as grandpa. But yeah, Katana Man is knocked out, or he's sliced in half, but he eventually comes back together. Denji basically says that when I ripped your katana out, you pieced back together, so you're kind of just like me. And Katana Man is basically stripped naked except for boxers, and he's tied up with the chainsaw chains to the train. And he basically explains that, I'm not allowed to kill you, but you killed Himeno, and it's not fair that you took a beautiful woman from this world. Like, this world has one less beautiful woman. Meanwhile, you just get to live the rest of your life in prison. So I think I'm going to hold a tournament. And that's when Aki shows up. And Aki radios that we have Katana Man. He's here. Send backup. And Denji says, hey, do you want to join the tournament I'm going to have? And Aki's like, what the hell are you talking about? And Denji says, this man shot Himeno. I think we should give him some shots to his nuts. Let's hold a tournament. We're going to take turns kicking him in the balls. And whoever makes him scream the loudest by the time the cop shows up wins. And then, of course, Aki is against this at first. Aki's like, torture him to feel good. I don't think that'll make Himeno happy. And that's when Aki pulls out the cigarette, and then it says easy revenge. And then he kind of stares at it for a moment, then he looks at Denji. He's like, what does the winner get? And Denji says, his nuts, of course. And the two of them start taking turns just kicking the crap out of Katana Man's nuts. And as they're kicking the crap out of his nuts, we get just like a montage of the rest of Katana Man's men being arrested. Kobeni and Power kind of watching all this. And yeah, like in between this, we just see the two of them kicking Katana Man the balls over and over and over again. And Aki says, Himeno, can you hear this? This is a requiem just for you. So we see Makima, and she's making her report, and she's basically just kind of going over what we already know, that the terrorist attack was instigated by Akane, who was a former civilian devil hunter. She made a contract with the gun devil to give guns to the Yakuza. And in return, the Yakuza will help Akane get Denji's heart, because she wants the heart of the chainsaw devil. And her superiors are kind of like, I wonder why she wanted the heart. And Makima says that before we could question her, the snake devil killed Akane. And we see Kobeni walking Akane down a tunnel, and then all of a sudden, the snake devil just plows through a wall and bites off Akane's head and kills her. Makima explains that she believes that it was involuntary suicide because of the contract with the gun devil. She explains that we were able to find 1.4 kilograms of the gun devil flesh in the building, and when we combine it with the 5 kilograms that we already have, it formed this new larger piece, and it's starting to finally move towards the gun devil itself. And they ask, where's it heading? And we don't get the answer. Instead, we get an outro where we see Denji, Power, and Aki just having a good time, walking through the city, chasing cats, going to a grocery store and picking out food, and just having dinner together. And as the credits finish, Aki gets up, he goes out to the balcony to smoke, and the cigarette that he takes out is the one that says easy revenge on it. And he kind of looks at it for a moment, then he lights it up. And as he's smoking outside, Denji's having a dream, and in the dream he's walking down an alleyway, and he comes across this door, and it's the scene that we see plenty of times in the opening. And he monologues that he sees this dream multiple times, but he always forgets about the dream afterwards. And he's wondering what's behind the door. And that's when he hears Pushka's voice coming from behind the door. And Denji, of course, wants to open the door because he wants to be able to touch Pushka again. He wants to see Pushka again because he misses him. And Pushka tells Denji to stop and says, whatever you do, never open this door. And then that's when we cut to this mysterious girl wandering through the city. And she's wondering if Denji prefers a country mouse or a city mouse. And that's how it ends. And the country mouse and city mouse, well, it's setting up for something. I'll just leave it at that. And I'm not going to reveal who this girl is just for anyone who just watches the anime. I will just say that she plays a very important part in the next arc. But yeah, there you go. There's the end. There's the finale of Chainsaw Man Season 1. Whether we get a movie next or another season, I don't know. I'm hoping it's a season just because, I mean, one, it'll give us a lot more Chainsaw Man than a movie would because, yeah, a 10 episode season will give us more than obviously a 90-minute movie. But also just because I feel like movies, you're going to have to cut things out to fit the runtime. Whereas with the season, you can not only not need to cut things out, but you can also add in some anime original stuff to kind of build upon what's already there, which they've done in previous episodes already. But I liked it. I thought it was good. I think this is a great series. Like Mappa just really did a fantastic job of adapting it, and I'm excited for what we get next. Like I said, hopefully a season 2. I'm a little bit bummed out that there's no longer any more Chainsaw Man Tuesdays, at least when it comes to the anime. Instead, the manga is still ongoing. New chapters get released every Tuesday. So as soon as I'm done editing this, I'm going to go check that out, the latest chapter. I will just say that part 2 of Chainsaw Man has been really fantastic so far. Yeah, for anyone who hasn't read the manga and just watched the anime, go check out the manga. It's fantastic. And if you want to know where to start, start at chapter 38. If you've just watched the anime, basically most of chapter 38 you've already seen in this episode, and then the end is Denji waking up from his nightmare, and he gets a little surprise from Power at the end of that chapter. So yeah, if you want to know where to jump on with the manga, chapter 38. But there you go. I don't know what else to say. It was fantastic. It was awesome. I loved it. The animation's great. The fact that they just did a really faithful job of adapting, and even the original stuff that they added in was fantastic. And like I said in a previous video, Hollywood should really take notes. This is how you adapt a series. This is how you adapt something. You stay as faithful as you can. You don't gender swap. You don't race swap. You don't add in your own messages and shit like that. Just stay 100% faithful to the original source material. And not only will you please the original fans, but you'll also get new eyes on the product, which is what this anime has done for Chainsaw Man in general. Like now we got more people who are interested in Chainsaw Man because of this anime. And yeah, I'm just kind of rambling on that now. But there you go. Chainsaw Man episode 12, season finale. Fantastic. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care, everybody. Later.